Hey fellow ninjas, this is Pegasus177 and this is a gameplay commentary on Assassin's Creed 3. But first of all, I need to apologise about my voice. It's a bit hoarse, and that's because I've been sick with the last few days. I've been run down and congested, and it's really messing with my voice, and I'm getting pains across my head and things. It would happen the one time that I wanted to do a commentary, because it's rare that I actually do commentaries, but I guess that's Murphy's Law and I just gonna have to struggle through it. Now before we actually start talking about Assassin's Creed 3, I just wanted to talk about a few other things quickly. First of all, I really only started uploading videos to YouTube properly this year, and I started taking it serious, and in that time I'm after gaining 100 plus subs, and it's really nice to know that my efforts haven't gone unnoticed. I'm glad I'm able to entertain you guys. I hope to keep entertaining you, and it's really appreciated that my content was good enough that you actually felt it was worthy of a subscription. We're going to try and keep it up in Black Ops 2. A lot of people keep asking me, will I keep up the ninja playstyle in Black Ops 2, and I'm not going to give any definite answer, but I'm definitely going to try. Like, there will always be a way to ninja, it's just a matter of figuring it out. I see a lot of people putting up these kind of like videos on, you know, my class suggestion or the best class to use in Black Ops 2. I'm not going to put up a video like that. I think that's stupid. There's no way to know what way it'll work properly until you actually play the game. Maybe one or two of these guys got to play it at Gamescom, so they might have some small idea of how it'll work, but for the ninja playstyle, it's completely up in the air yet, and there's no way of knowing for definite what perks will work for you and what will work against you, what weapons will work for you and what will work against you. So I'm not going to say anything or put up any videos like that until I actually know what I'm talking about. A lot of people are asking me, am I worried about this new change to the ghost perk? Not really. This thing about you having to keep moved to stay off the radar, that's not a big deal to me. I'm more worried about awareness. Awareness looks like it's going to be the new SitRep Pro, and after the patch or post patch in Modern Warfare 3, SitRep Pro just kind of ruined that game for everyone. Well, if you played Search, it ruined that game for you, and I prominently play Search. Basically what the patch did was it made it so you could hear everyone 4 times louder, your enemies' footsteps were quietened, and you could even hear people with dead silence. And it kind of really messed up our way of playing the game. Like, it was still possible, but it made it a hell of a lot harder for ninja playstyle. But anyway, I'm not going to touch too much on the subject. Black Ops 2 will be out in 2 weeks, and then we can start getting into the to's and fro's of how that perk is going to work. David Van Vonderhaar claims that he has it under control, but I'm still a bit skeptical. We'll see. Anyway, back to Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3 is a pretty good game. Normally, between Call of Duty titles in the last few months, there's a kind of a lull where I go out and I get other game titles and I try them out. Last year it was Assassin's Creed Revelations, Battlefield 3 and Skyrim, and I played them for the last month or two while Black Ops was dying out and Modern Warfare 3 was getting hyped up. And this year I only went for Assassin's Creed 3 because I couldn't really see any other game that appealed to me. That's not to say there aren't other great games out there, it's just that they didn't appeal to me. As for Assassin's Creed 3, the single player was great. I really enjoyed it. I don't want to give away too much, and there's a little bit of a spoiler alert, so turn down the volume for about the next 10 seconds if you don't want to be giving away anything, or if you're planning to buy the game. Here goes. The story mode really annoyed me, how they finished off the game, especially since it's been 3 years in the pipeline. I thought they could have done way more with it. But anyway, as the single player goes itself, the gameplay of it was great. It was fluid. They brought in a few new items to it. You were now able to free run through forests and cliffsides out in the wilderness, and it kind of brought a new dimension to it. You were able to run as freely through the treetops as XE or Altair were able to navigate buildings in cities, and it was cool. It was a cool aspect to the game. They also brought in the ability to hunt animals. I think there's 24 plus animals now in the wilderness that you can hunt down. and you can actually use their hides to trade, or even some of them are part of missions or side missions that you had to do. There's also animals after being introduced that can kill you, such as bears and wolves, which was a nice new aspect as well. So just because you didn't see any enemies around on the minimap doesn't mean that you weren't in danger. And those little fuckers can sneak up on you, and it normally sets off a chain of button pressing that you have to hit precisely in order to not die. It was a nice little touch to the game. As for the actual character in the game, Connor is a kind of a half-breed of sorts. He is a Indian Mohawk, and he is also half-British. You couldn't relate to him, I believe, as much as you could to previous characters like Ezio and Altair. He was kind of a stone-cold character, you know, there wasn't much to him, whereas Altair was a bit of a badass, and you kind of knew that he struck fear into people. And Ezio is charismatic. You just can't really relate to this new character Connor as much. After a really long intro and prologue, you eventually become this character, but you never really get any grasp on what he's really like. At most he kind of seems a bit vulnerable, but he still seems like a distant person to you at all times in the game. He doesn't seem to be as aware of what his lineage is as Ezio was, or as Altair was. The game kind of lands you in a funny situation where I'm not even going to say it because it's actually giving away too much, but play it. The graphics are great, the movement of the game is great. One thing that was missing, or two things that were missing that kind of took away from it for me, were that in the older Assassin's Creed games there was dungeons of sort where you had to figure out little puzzles to move on to the next part, and there was also like these areas where you would be chasing a guy and he was closing doors and gateways behind him, and you had to free run your way past them. And there's nothing, that's not in the new game, so kind of, I don't know, I was kind of expecting them to be in it. They're a bit challenging to the mind, and it would have been something nice to see back again. For the multiplayer, they're after bringing in a few new game modes. There is now a simple deathmatch game mode, which is actually deathmatch but without any perks or abilities. Now this is good in the sense that if somebody starts playing the game 3 months in, and everyone else, you know, you join the game and you're put into a game against guys who are level 30, 40 and 50, and they have all the best perks. They have poison, they have smoke, and all the useful perks, and you have nothing like that. Well, this simple deathmatch removes all that and actually gives you a chance to level up against people on an even playing ground, which I thought was pretty good. They brought in a team mode, which is domination. There's 3 areas to hold down, and basically you have to work together to get control of all 3 areas and hold on to those areas as long as possible. They brought in a few things to try and keep people's interest in the game. They brought in a wolf pack, which is basically like building a clan, and they brought in a new thing where you can actually track your enemies, or sorry, not your enemy, but your friends' scores and try and beat them. And you can also do this thing called a dare, which is where you dare your friends to try and beat certain things that you've collected or certain scores that you've created, which is great as well. It's after kind of giving a feeling that, you know, keeps you interactive in the game even when your friends are not online, you know. So there's always something to do. Like, I'm a big fan of these kind of games, obviously, because I do the ninja gameplay. This kind of stuff appeals to me, you know, running around and assassinating people and being sneaky about it, trying to be incognito. It all appeals to me. One thing I have to say that I've noticed a lot of is that people in multiplayer are being really, really stupid. I mean, like, you gain points for being sneaky and, you know, for being incognito, for blending in with the crowd and not giving yourself away. Those are the things that give you points. Whereas all I seem to notice is that people are running around like crazy, showing off exactly where they are, like that guy over there. I just can't make sense of it. I mean, they're only picking up points of like 150 a kill, whereas I'm picking up like 500 or 600. I don't think people properly understand how to play the game. They just like the idea of free running, and that's all they do. But won't get too much into that. Anyway, it benefits me, so keep on keeping on. They can keep doing that. That just allows me to keep winning games. Anybody have any suggestions for a series that I could do with Assassin's Creed, then please let me know. I know there's not a huge fan base for Assassin's Creed. I'm judging that off my friends list. I think there's only like 3 or 4 people on my whole friends list who actually have the game. So I don't know who's into it and who's not, what kind of series to do. If you got any ideas or suggestions, let me know. I know Esco Blades did a top 5 series on it, top 5 plays, which was pretty good, and I don't know, should I do something like that, or is Shemu36 did his own series where he just took the absolute piss out of everyone that he played in a game, and he had great success with that. I don't know what people want to see. What would you like to see? Suggestions greatly appreciated. Anybody got any, let me know. Aside from that, I'll see all you guys in Black Ops 2, and thanks for watching as always. Peace. Guys, I couldn't find any good Assassin's Creed 3 templates, so I made that one at the start in Sony Vegas. If any of you want the template, let me know. The Facebook page is MW3 The Dojo, and the Twitter is @Pegasus177. Thanks for watching again, guys. Peace.
Now you're going to die.